So I kind of want to discuss something that I think everybody would be into. Um, kind of eating right now, so. Ooh. Sorry, there's stuff going on Amino right now, and I'm gonna slowly put it away in a second. So today I want to talk about, wait, I have to pull up YouTube just in case. I know for some of you it's like only like 8 o'clock. And 5 o'clock here, 6 o'clock here, and so much crap going on right now with it. Anyways, one of the things I want to talk about today is the new Hey Arnold movie. I watched it this morning, and I literally cried after the movie. Um, um, I'm still eating turkey. Great. So I watched the new Hey Arnold movie this morning, and as I was watching it, I was like watching it, and I was sitting in my room and watching it on my phone, and I was like, I do in Sims. This is great. These bitches don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm such a distraction. I get distracted easily. I'm sorry about that, but if I don't answer, it's just like, no. So I'm just gonna send them pictures of me live streaming. That way they understand. So I watched, like I was saying, I watched the new Jungle movie this morning, and I was laying in my bed at 9 a.m. watching this movie, and I didn't get over until like 11:25, 11:30-ish. So as I'm watching it, I'm just like, oh my god, what's happening? When the when it first came up, it showed there's definitely gonna be spoilers, so if you guys don't like spoilers, please don't watch the videos. If you guys have already seen Hey Arnold, then yay, you guys have become my favorite. If you guys know what Hey Arnold is, if you don't, go look it up on 123movies.net, and it's great. So the movie starts out with basically Arnold flying a plane and going to San Lorenzo, and you're thinking, oh my god, is this really happening? Is this how it's gonna happen? But the trailers were released and stuff before you watch the movie, so you obviously know that's not how it happens, even though you want it. So I start watching it more, and you just like see Arnold like trying to find his parent like this early in the movie, and you're just like, what the heck? Is this gonna be like one of those things that where like everything's a flashback, or like everything that like after that scene is gonna be a flashback or something? But it turns out no, it was just a dream. As I was as I was like watching the movie, I'm like thinking, oh my goodness, and I'm okay. I have weird friends, guys. I'm sorry. Um, so as I'm watching this and everything, you think about it and you're like, okay, so this dream. Um, now, so the whole bumping in, my favorite scene would have to be definitely like at the beginning, like after the dream, he goes downstairs and all the tenants are talking and being loud, and, being how they normally are. Mm, so cold. Um, so as I'm like watching it and everything, and it's just like, what is going on? And I'm just like thinking, oh, okay, so well, this is cool. So random. So as Arnold lets out all the animals and stuff, Gerald is there. So it's nice to see that Gerald and all the other cast are still gonna be in the movie and stuff, and they didn't do any changes to that. So I was very happy to see that. Um, uh, when and so like the boys are walking to school, and then you see Helga and Phoebe, and it's just like, I don't know if anybody notices, but Helga's dress is definitely a lot lighter. It's not as it used to be. Um, you can definitely tell the difference in the dress, which I kind of like that they did that part a little different. The dress was definitely much better suited for her. She still has that pink bow and the big gigantic ponytail, so that was still an obvious thing that stayed, which I was very, very pleased about. Um, I don't know if my roommates are gonna just like barge in, but I locked my door, so ha. If you guys watched it, I locked my door. Anyway. Woo. Um, so as I'm watching the movie, I'm like thinking, oh my goodness, this is great. Nice to see. And then that one moment, that perfect moment, is when Arnold and Helga, sorry, I don't know what's going on with my camera right now. It's like, I feel like there's something on my forehead. There's not, is there? No, there was something. Definitely something on my forehead. Anyway, so as I'm watching the movie, I'm like thinking, oh my god, this is great. What the heck? And then the whole Helga and Arnold bumping into each other. Major fangirl right there. I literally had to pause it and literally fangirl for about 10 minutes. Um, so as I am watching it, I continue to watch the movie, and I get to the point where like you go into the school and you're thinking, PS 118, are they still in fourth grade? Did they really do this to us? Did they really take us back to the fourth grade class? But no, in the comics, it does show that it's supposed to be in the fifth grade when they go on the field trip at the end of the year of the fifth grade year, and they go on a school trip to San Lorenzo. If you guys have read the comics, awesome job. They're great. It was nice to see that some things were definitely a little different, and the my so as they're talking about the trip to San Lorenzo and um how basically it's because of the organization that Arnold's parents worked with and stuff that it I'm sorry. This is a little ridiculous. I mean, they're literally arguing. Um By the way, if you guys read Broken Realms or are on the Broken Realm Amino, shout out to Ethan for this loveliness right here that I get to see every day. And I don't know how long I get to see it. Sorry, I'm so tired. Anyways, I know I'm disgusting. I'm sorry. Um, anyway, so as I'm watching the movie and stuff, I'm like realizing, hmm, okay. So there's like a little bit of few changes. There's like a I realized that Arnold's shirt is still the same. Like everything's still the same with there. And his football head, of course, is still there. The thing I noticed that was very different was definitely the his eyes were greener. I noticed that they brought that out more, which I was very happy about because of what happens later on in the movie. It kind of made more sense. Um, I don't know what I'm talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. I watched that whole movie at 9 a.m. in the morning when I didn't have to get up. Sorry, I'm texting my dad about stuff. It's just um. So like I was saying, I was watching it and so I was like, what? Okay, um, so we got more into it, and then you see Arnold kind of walking with his pig, basically walking his pig, and they're just being a little calmer and everything. So you're just like, okay, and then like you see these families being all happy, and you're just like, Arnold, I just want to hug you. Um, because he basically lives with his grandparents who are, um, his grandmother's definitely something strange, but she's very cool and very nice. So as you're like, oh my, literally what's going on? I'm sorry, if I don't check this, it's just gonna blow up later, and then I'm gonna have to read up, and I don't want to. So as I was saying, and so I was watching, and you know, like he's walking around and he's looking all sad like, and then he turns around to go home, and the next person he sees is Helga. And it's just like, you creepy stalker. Because you guys seen from the series, Helga's basically spent half of her life stalking Arnold. Um I'm sorry guys, I'm very, very distracted and I'm a horrible, horrible person. Okay then. So she starts like she told him if he ever wants to talk about his feeling, and she had a very hard time saying feeling. I can understand because she's not one of those girls that likes to admit her feelings, but she's definitely got girliness in her. She is more of a tomboy, so it's very interesting to see her do that. So she goes home and she's just like, Operation Let's Get Football Ahead to San Lorenzo to save his parents. And she's like, she goes and into this like little place where it got all the TV screen and all of that. And you're just thinking, what the heck? Helga, I think you have a problem because she's like, she calls Phoebe over, tells her to meet him and meet her. It's like 911 kind of thing. Like, you know how you text your best friend and be like 911, and you tell your best friend about basically all the crush and stuff like that. So, like, mm, thank you for becoming a fan, but this is basically just me ranting on about the new Hey Arnold movie. Thank you, Sean underscore CBA underscore Stam Squad. I think that says I appreciate you becoming a fan. Shout out. Anyway, I'm a loser. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so you know, she works together with Phoebe trying to like go through all the footage that she has of him, cause hashtag creeper stalker status. And as you're watching it, it just like shocks you a bit, and you're just like, okay. Um, my favorite would definitely have to be like though she did go to she definitely went to Arnold, not Arnold, yeah, Arnold's best friend Gerald for help for the to help out with the project and stuff, and he agrees to it, but he's like, how did you get all these videos of Arnold? And like he's like starting to see it more, and he's like in the series he's like, oh, there's no way she likes him, she hates him, he picks at her, she picks at him all the time. And you know, like Gerald always the first one to like always was like the first person to like never suspect anything when it came to Helga's feelings to Arnold. It was very nice to see that that wasn't true. It was very nice to see that there was like a thing between Gerald where he's just like, I know how you feel about my man and my boy, you know, like how friendship works. Um, and they definitely have their unique. They definitely have like a friendship, more of a friendship now. What the heck is going on? I'm like slowly giving up on what's going on Amino right now. It's great. Um. So So they put together the video and they submit it to the people, and they show Arnold later that night the videos, and Arnold's like, oh, in the contest for that already done for. And the teacher stands up and like, actually we won, and here's the agenda, da da da. And like everybody stands up and cheers, and then Arnold's grandparents are like, I don't know about this. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm using my own word to describe like the emotions and stuff. So if you guys might see how I look at it. I'm a 90s baby all the way. So like when I first heard of Hey Arnold, my mom literally got me like the stuff for it. I'm probably gonna end up watching Avatar some point again. Um, so as I'm watching it and just like you know, you see the grandparents looking a little scared. This is their grandchild. This is, they lost their son to San Lorenzo. They don't want to lose their grandson to it. They're like, we really don't want him. At the same time, it's a class trip that his class has won. And um, on top of that, they're like, you have no idea what our grandson's capable of, which is true. A lot of people really don't understand that Arnold will do the right thing all the time. And saving his parents were definitely one of the many that he would do. He's very much like that. He's not going to change. I'm sorry if you guys want to agree with me on that. Arnold's a really good person and really sweet. But you get to see like a different side of him in this movie. So it's very, very difficult for like me to explain until like I get to that point. Um, so like I said, the grandparents are looking at the teacher like, you have no idea, and then the grandpa's like, if you ever traveled with a dozen of kids, basically saying 12 kids, because back then 12 kids were a thing for school. 12 kids per classroom. Whoop whoop. I don't want to drive. I am trying to do this in there, but I love them all. They're all my favorite. Anyways, so, then it moves on to, like, Arnold finding out that it was Helga, and he just, like, touches her shoulder, and she just gets goosebumps all over, and she's like, I'm gonna go wash my socks, and I'm just like, oh my god, Helga, why? And I'm laughing the entire time as I'm watching her, like, walk out of the boarding house, basically dancing, happy that that Arnold had touched her shoulder. I'm getting something. Sorry, it's my thing's not in there. I barely ate. Sorry, I need to eat something. I need to be warmed up again. I'll do it after the video. I'll do a Q&A live stream after this. You guys can ask me random questions. I'm still eating and drinking my drink. But you can definitely see like the friendship coming a little bit closer and stuff, and you're just like, oh my goodness, this is great. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking in my head, wow, that's great, Helga, that you're dancing outside of the boarding house on a TV show where Arnold can later watch. But Arnold's not that. Arnold's a little dense when it comes to Helga, because Helga's Helga, so you don't really imagine stuff like that. Oh, my head is like literally hurting. Sorry. So as I'm watching the movie and stuff, it's just like I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is like great. It's wonderful. So I watch so like Arnold gets interviewed and he's like super excited, ready to go. And then before he gets on the plane, his grandpa is like talking to him and being like, hey, watch out for all these illness, and it's just like, oh my god, what are you talking about? Like, where? But I guess back in the 90s, back in Hey Arnold time, they had all that problem. If you went to a different country, you would get all of those diseases. Um, but let's just say they did keep one thing that I love the most is hair boy, football head, and a couple of other things that Helga says. The one thing that I just like was very confused about is why would Helga be mean to Arnold's parents, not knowing them. She's definitely not one of those people. She calls her parents moron. I've heard her multiple times call her parents moron. It is very interesting. Um, uh, anyways, I'm sorry. I'm just going, every 5 seconds. I'm horrible. Anyways. So they're on the plane and everything, and Gerald, of course, goes next to, Arnold, and Arnold opens the, uh, flap to let the sunlight kind of in and stuff, and next thing you know is you see Grandpa just yakking away, and you're just like, you can either be like, that's my grandfather or something like that. You're probably thinking that in your head. That was definitely my papa. That was definitely him that would do something like that. Um, I'm sorry, I'm getting really distracted because I'm trying to figure out what the bloody hell is going on, and I'm just like, okay then. I think, I think my roommate just left. Okay. Um, but anyways, so as I'm watching the movie and stuff, I'm just like looking, and I'm just like trying to see if like there's like anything that I need to know. Arnold definitely have a new wardrobe when he goes to San Lorenzo, and I'm like, well, that's very interesting. Um, One of the first things I noticed was Eduardo's place. That when they went to go find the place, when they walked in, Eduardo's place was completely trashed and destroyed, and you think, oh wait, okay, you got to think about that. This just happened. Why? Why did this? What's going on? So they go to the boat and they see Eduardo, and he's Eduardo, and you're just thinking there's no way he doesn't look that old. There's no way that much time since Arnold's parents have left, that he just like grew this old person like straight down like ugliness. Just no way. So in my head, I'm thinking, who could this be? Could this be the person I keep talking about? And I don't think that. You think I thought it was I didn't think it was, because the whole point of the fact is that he was helping, making sure Arnold was safe. I thought maybe this was like maybe somebody that was coming in to help. When they finally got to the little compound, he just like drops the gates and stuff, and he takes off his mustache, and it's like, I can't remember the name of the person. Um, but it's like, oh, great, great. So this is the bad guy. And Arnold, like, when he puts Arnold in this cell and then puts his friends somewhere else, like, all of his friends are mad at him and stuff, which I kind of understand why they would be. Um, Helga hears him talking to the picture of his parents, and she's just like, Arnold, my love, and like she went to reach out to take out the locket that she had torn up and thrown in the river, um, and everything. I forgot to mention that part. Um, I'm trying to not give away too much spoilers. If I do, I'm sorry. Before uh, as the craziness was happening, because she tried to confess her love to him, and he just like basically kind of rejects her and just like swoop out of there. And I'm just like, when I watched that, I literally stopped it and threw my phone. My baby's okay though. Baby's okay. I felt so bad for throwing it at the wall, but I got so busy. very quickly about that. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Anyway, so you know, she rips up his picture and just throws it in the water, and then like tosses the locket that she always has very close to her. She keeps that very, very intensely close to her. She's very obsessed with it. Um, brain. Now, I actually watched a review earlier, and I said I would do a review whenever this movie came out. The first time I saw the trailer, um, I told everybody, I was like, okay, well, Brainy's never like actually had like a real role until this movie, and like he basically dives in. I explain a little bit later when I explain it more. Um, so basically, Brainy dives in, gets the picture and the locket, and returns it back to Helga when she goes to reach out for the locket, realizing what she's done after like when Arnold was like, I'm never gonna save my parents and all of that, and she like feels bad, so she goes to take out the locket, and she realizes that it's not there, and she's like shocked at herself, and she's like, oh shit, what have I done? And like she hears breathing noise, and she goes around to punch him, and he's like, Helga, like his deep like Helga, and he just basically holds out the locket to her, and it's got Arnold's picture in it all taped up, and she's like, thanks, Brainy, and then she like kisses him, and it's just like, oh god, what the hell? Ooh, sorry, Cyber Monday just got the notification. Um, I won't be able to buy anything. It sucks. Um, sorry. Anyways, so as I'm watching the movie and things, and um, I continue to watch it, and just like I'm just like, oh my god, she just literally kissed Brainy. Oh, oh, no, you belong with Arnold, and it's just like, there are a few people ship Brainy and Helga, big time. And there's a lot of people that hates on Helga because of how she is. But everybody doesn't realize that is definitely a front sometimes, and sometimes it's not. Depends on her day. Um, but she can actually be a really, really kind person. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen like the little things she does for Arnold, or the little things she does for Phoebe and the people she loves. Um, if you guys have seen the movie, you definitely see her parents are really very like trying to make sure her older most perfect sister is okay. Um, everybody thought like the whole sickness thing was seasickness. No, it was actually watching her sister flirt with someone. It was just disgusting to her. Um, anyways, so she goes over to Gerald and Helga goes over to Gerald and Phoebe while they're locked up and stuff, and she just talks to them like, "Hey, we really need to get them out." Da da da. Um, so they realize it, and they're like, "Sorry, my throat's been dry for the past 3 days, so don't judge. I'm sorry." I don't understand why he's not answering me. So, anyways, um, as this is going on, as it keeps going on, it's just like watching it and stuff, and you're just like thinking in your head, like, holy crap. Talking to Gerald and Phoebe, and she's like thinking hard on it and stuff, and you know, uh, stuff like that. One of the things that I definitely understand is that as I'm watching this, you think on it and you're just like, wow, this really does happen. So Phoebe ends up having everybody work together and basically distract the guards and stuff, and like Helga and Gerald goes to help Arnold. They eventually escape, which you guys know. Then the bad guy, I can't remember his name right now. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible at reviews when I don't remember the bad guy's name. Um, so I was like watching that, and he's just like, "You did exactly what I wanted you to. I put a tracer on him." And he's gathering everyone up. It's like, hey, let's do this. Let's go and get this kid, and so I can get the um corazon. I think it's said. It's how it's said. Yeah, that's how it's said. And then like as he goes and looks for him, the rest of the class is like, we need to get out of here. So they figure out how to use Bob's beeper to send an SOS, um, and everything. And then like Helga's parent gets in the car and just like, let's go save Olga and the other one. Like when they get in the car, they're like literally the other one, and like Bob's like the other one, and then like Miriam's like, yeah, Helga. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Normal parents don't do this. But then again, Helga's home life has never been normal. It's been very like parents mostly focusing on the main adult child, the oldest and the most perfect child. As it goes on, they find out, and Arnold Pig literally went home to the boarding house to tell Arnold's grandparents what was going on. And like Arnold's grandpa's just like, you came all this way to tell us about shrimp cocktail on the plane? Really? Really? And just like the grandma's like, no, he came all this way to tell us that Arnold's in trouble. And they're trying to like they go to the airport and stuff, and like they see Bob and Miriam, and they're like, Bob's like, you old farts are still alive? And I'm like, yeah, yes they are, you dick. Um, I'm very hateful when it comes to because of how he makes Helga feel. Anyway, so they get on this plane that says rent me, and they go to San Lorenzo and save the class. While all of that is going on, Helga, Arnold, and Gerald are going through all of these crazy things. They get to a waterfall, and all of a sudden, Arnold's necklace glows, and he uses it to read the map more. So he goes behind the waterfall, and into like these things full booby trapped. And as he's going through this, he's just like, he's trying to keep his friends safe, and he's trying to make sure that nobody gets hurt. Then finally they get to the village of the green-eyed people, and he sees that it's a bunch of kids, and it's just like, what is going on? And then like this football head statue, and of course, Helga had to say, I've seen better. That's because she has made a statue of his head at home. One of them is made of bubblegum. One of them was made with watermelon. It was great. I've seen those statues multiple times. So like they're all cheering him, and they're taking him to the queen, who turns out to be a child herself, um, he's learned that the parents are the only one that causes sleeping sickness. As he realizes that, he sees his parents, and well, he doesn't see his parents yet. The guy, I don't know his name, but he comes in and it's like, I'm gonna take this, and the kids start fighting back, and then he's like trying to get away from them, and Arnold like steals the cornerstone back for the green-eyed people, and like the guy literally came up to Arnold with a sword held to the neck, and the queen's like, no, 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 stop. We can't have him hurt Arnold. And like, he's like, anybody that follows us, I'll kill him, da da da. And, they go to this bridge, like one of those old timey wooden bridges that you would go across and that would always break in every single movie you've ever seen. Don't go on them. Unless it's like at an amusement park and they've like secured it multiple times and somebody else and they go first, like the staff goes first to show you it's safe, that's fine. But it's like those bridges that breaks in every single movie. No matter what movie you're watching, it breaks somehow, somewhere, and it brings everybody closer. So Arnold tries to help Gerald and Helga up and stuff, and he falls and he holds on to one of the things and he looks at Helga and Helga's looking at him and their eyes are widening and I'm just like, Shipping my stuff. I go full out fangirl. And like, and then a rope comes down. And you're just like, what the heck? What is going on? And Arnold grabs it, and Gerald and Helga, of course, they go up it, and they see Eduardo, the actual guy, the actual Eduardo, the good guy. And they see him, and they're like, Eduardo? And like Helga just walks up to him, pulls him down by his mustache and said, you were fooled by someone that was in a mustache before. It is not happening again. And like she goes to like pull it more to see like if it comes off. He's like, I could have just left you down there. And I'm just like, oh Helga, you just got burned bad, baby girl. I really suck at reviews and I'm sorry. I'm horrible at stuff like this. And you guys are watching my screen through my glasses. It's great. I don't know if you guys can see anything else going through my glasses. Oh, I hope not. I have to call my father after this. Anyway. So, everybody's like, then the guys come back up because he was like shot with like a poison dart and falls to his death basically. That doesn't happen. That never happened. No matter how much you wish it happened. So he like comes back up and like, I will take what's mine, and the corazon, it's basically the golden heart, gets thrown over the cliff, and you're just like, and he's like, Arnold, you will go get that and he grabs onto the necklace, and he breaks it off of Arnold's neck, and he's just like falling completely dead. They're like, okay, killed by poison, that's cool. And Arnold's like, how are we gonna get back across? And then here it is. Eduardo points out, I like the stone bridge better. And you're just like, what the fuck? What? Why? Why take the wooden bridge when there's a freaking stone bridge? I was very kind of disappointed in that part. I was just like, in my head thinking, why did they do this? So they get back to the village and they tell the children, what has happened. And Arnold's like, I can't save them, and like they go to the village, they show him where his parents are, and they're like, and then Eduardo tells the queen, the kid queen, what has happened, and they're all just crying and stuff, and Gerald trying to be like positive, like we can still do it, we can still find a way. Being the good Samaritan that he is too, he's very that's why him and Arnold are such good friends, is because of how they act together. Um, so as that happens, Arnold's like literally crying, and then Helga realizes something and she runs to it and she looks at it and she's like thinking, and then like Arnold and Eduardo and Gerald comes up and like, Helga, what are you doing? What's going on? And she's like, you just have to put something here. Like, what is this for? And they realized what it was. It was a machine where you can like send up stuff to like spread medicine across, and because of sleeping sickness. And turns out there was little things on there, and it was the cure to it that his parents had made. And so she pulls out, he's like, but we don't have a heart of gold. And she just pulls out her locket, and she's like, I may have something. And like, she literally shows them the locket that has Arnold's face on it. And she's like, it's just gold. I know it's just gold plaques. It's not pure gold. But she was basically saying her heart's not really very pure, for what it is. And he's like, your heart, Arnold walks over to her and takes it, and he's like, your heart is more pure than you think. And it's just like, fangirl, and goosebumps are like literally running all over my body right now. It's great. I love it. Um, as I'm like seeing it, I'm just like, oh my god, yes, ship. That's great. I loved it. Anyways, so when I watch it, I'm just like, oh my god, yes. Oh my god, ship. So he puts it in, and he tries to put it in like the way it comes, like just tries to put it in like that, and then she's such an idiot, and then she tries for him, and then it goes like in more, and like the machine starts to work, and then it like brings up this cloud of smoke, and then it starts raining down. So everybody's like seeing that the butterflies are starting to wake up, and then like the queen literally starts and the rest of the kids runs to their parents to see like their parents waking up and stuff. They were very, very happy to have their parents waking up. Arnold realized what that meant, and he's like, oh my god, I need to go find my parents. And he literally runs to find his parents, and then like he sees the green sheath and he doesn't hear anybody coming from it. And he just like opens it and he sees his parents awake, and he just looks at him, and they're like, hey, Arnold. And it's just like pure crying intense moment, and it's just crying in tears. I was crying for 3 hours. Sorry. So they have a celebration thanking Arnold for waking up the parents and stuff. and he sees Helga kind of going off to like get her locket out, and she literally has the arrow, and she's like trying to jimmy it out, and then like Arnold catches her, he's like, Helga, and she just drops it and she just kicks it, and I'm just like, Helga, no. And like I'm kind of like laughing a bit about it, and stuff. So, um, sorry, I'm really having bad allergy problems right now. My life sucks. Also, I have to call my dad after this. So, and then he's like, you've helped me do all of this, and he kind of pulls her into a kiss, and it's just like, yay! And then of course, Gerald's like, now I've seen everything. And like his parents are like smiling, and his mom like puts her head on dad's shoulder, on Miles' shoulder, and and then Arnold wakes up, and you're just like, oh my god, are you serious? Please tell me that was not a dream. And like I literally started crying as he was running down the stairs to like come to the same scene, back to the same scene that we were at the beginning, where basically the tenants are arguing with the grandpa about food and stuff. And he's just like, and Arnold's just like so sad. And he's just like, I never went to San Lorenzo. I never saved my parents and everything. And he turns to go back upstairs, and then he hears Miles' voice. And he sees his parents, and he's just like, Mom, Dad, you're really here. And it's just like that moment where you just want to burst into tears. Like, this is it. They're really there, and you just like want to touch it. You just like, it was very, very sweet, and it was very, very cute. I definitely loved it. And then, like the parents are like, why don't we go on another adventure? And he's like, I can't. It's the first day of school. Um, so, he kind of realized, yeah, it was the first day of school and his parents were there. So it was definitely good to see that. So he went back. It was definitely good to see, like, their, like, little family thing. And Arnold's like, it's the first day of school. I gotta go get ready. Hey, come on, Abner. And he, like, hands his own pig bacon. And I'm laughing the entire time because, like, this Asian guy that lives there, he's like, ugh, weird, creepy. Because, in, like, actual real life, pigs don't eat bacon. Guys, it's basically making them eat themselves. So anyways, Arnold opens the door and like lets all the animals out and stuff, and there's Gerald right there thing. So you ready for the first day of are you ready for the worst day of or the first worst day or something? And Arnold's like, it's the first day of school, and Gerald's like, that's what I said. So they start walking and they bump into Phoebe and Helga, and Gerald grabs Phoebe's hand, and Arnold looks over at Helga and he just like grabs hers, and she's just like, she got goosebumps for a minute, and then the next thing you know, it's just like, who told you could touch me, hair boy? And walks off, and he's just like smiling the entire time. And then Arnold's parents come and find them, and he's like, oh, can we walk you to school? And I'm like, oh, I wish my parents would have done that, but my parents are separated and never took me to school together. Ah! Anyways, so I was like literally watching that. I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. So they basically they get to the school, and they're like, he's like, okay, now you have to stay out here. And they're like, okay, what time will you be done? And he's like, he thinks for a moment and he's like, and they're like, we'll be here waiting for you. And I'm like, oh, it's not like you guys don't have anything to do. Like, I don't know, get to know everyone around the neighborhood and get to know the world. Um, so, like, they go into school and stuff, and that's basically how the movie ends. And I'm kind of seeing if they would make another season, or, because, there's still fans who still love the series and stuff, and you really want to see them, like, be more intellectual, and you want them to, you just like, please do it, please, and it's really good to, like, see all of that happening. So anyways, guys, if you guys have watched 55 minutes and 52 seconds long of a video, it's still continuing. I am so sorry that I have wasted your life. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will probably do another review soon. But I am going to do a Q&A video after I'm done doing all the stuff I need to do. So thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.